Copa America 2024. When this video releases, we will literally be just over 24 hours from the first match kicking off. Argentina, Canada, crazy matchup, crazy tournament in general. Today on our video, we're going to be predicting how each one of the groups will play out, who's going to make it to the knockout rounds, and most importantly, who's going to take home Copa America 2024. As usual for these videos, I'm joined by other creators. We have Max C Gaming on the show today, also joined by Barca Boy 103, aka Hoppit, on the show as well. We got obviously Max, the Brazil guy, I guess, for today's show. And then we have
let's just say I'm in between houses, so my USA gear is not here, but I feel like in another life I would be Brazilian. So
that's fair. That's fair, bro. I like that. I like that. And in this life, Hoffit is apparently Argentine. So
Yes,
he
sir.
is a massive Argentina fan. Can't show it, but he's wearing a Barca Boy.
Two different the streams that come out.
Yeah, and when the live streams happen, we'll start linking those in our videos as well as we kind of go through. But he'll be doing live watch-alongs for Argentina. Those are going to be massive. And I think if you've seen any one of his Barcelona streams, the emotion is 100% there. So anyway, lads,
look at the last tournaments.
Last tournament might be undefeated, bro. I don't know if Copa America can match it, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, lads, look, for the Euro predictions video, we ran through the FOT Mob predictor for the Euro 2024. Exact same type of video for Copa America today. We're going to go through FOT Mob's predictor game to predict how each one of the groups will net out, who the winners and the runner-ups will be, and that will kind of pave the way for how the knockout rounds are going to go. A little bit different structure than the European Championships. We'll talk about it, but let's go ahead. We'll tee it up, and we'll get right into it. So we're going to start off with Group A, right? So, and this is an interesting group, man. The only group, I think, that doesn't have two CONCACAF nations locked into this one. So Canada, uphill battle, but we'll talk about it. Argentina, Canada, Chile, and Peru. And I think that there's a little bit of a wild card factor in this group, in my opinion. I think the top of it's very straightforward. But look, we'll start with the Argentina man himself, Hafid. I think you probably are more confident than ever that Argentina will walk away as the group winner. I think that they're also the betting favorites for this. But outside of that, bro, I think it's almost a toss-up to an extent on who gets second. How do you see it going?
I agree. It is a toss-up, but that order that we have right now is kind of looking sexy. I'm not gonna lie.
This ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it.
Gotta back my nation.
I'm about to say this is like the perfect ideal setup for Hoffit. Argentina and his home country.
I don't know. It's looking kind of nice. I think like if I was to bet, I would have bet on Canada progressing because, not CONCACAF, but South American teams just have that juice, especially when they're playing in different altitudes for qualifiers, stuff like that. They're coming up against Canada, who play a friendly here and there if they're lucky, especially with the current situation happening with the Canadian Football Soccer Federation. But on paper, I think Canada is the second best team in this group. On paper. I think we can all agree on that. If you look at, personnel wise, I think this comes down to experience, who's played the Copa America the most, and also the kind of dog mentality that you see in Chile and Peru. I've seen, the best Argentina side struggle against Peru in random games. Of course, Chile beating Argentina in 15-16 Copa America, which absolutely shattered me. But I kind of like this order. I think, again, the order in which the games are played are going to be important as well. First game is going to be at the top two, as you can see on the screen. So if Canada walk away there with the expected loss, they have two games against Chile and Peru to somehow, the Argentina game will kind of be like the icebreaker for them. They get the tournament, kick it off, face a team, maybe compete. If they do lose, like, okay, we've done that. That was kind of the icebreaker. That was kind of the trial run. Now we really push. So I see it in this order. If I was to place a prediction, I would say in this order. I'm back to my two countries.
This is rough.
Mainly Argentina. I don't care about Canada.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, if I was a betting man, I wouldn't put Canada number two. Honestly, I think I would go Peru number two. I think Peru is coming off a.
You could switch Chile and Peru. I wouldn't.
Yeah, but I think Peru has a chance to. I guess to surprise some teams. I think a lot of people have Argentina and either Chile or Canada come out of this group. But Pelé with Flores, he had a decent World Cup. He's joint top goal scorer from the qualifier. So I mean, I think this Peru team has some pretty decent talent and some MLS talent that can help them get to at least the knockout stages. But Chile, they don't move me. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
The second game of the group is going to be Canada-Peru. So based on how Peru does against Chile, that'll have some good indication on how things turn out.
I think the first game between Chile and Peru is going to be the telling one from my perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I think it'll be something with Peru, right? Is I feel like they get discounted heavily, but they've made it to the semifinals in 4 of the last 5. Copa Americas, right? So their experience not just getting to the knockouts, but even making deep runs. But man, I just feel like we can't count out Gareca. I think the manager for Chile, despite the fact that this team is super old, and they are
super old.
old.
They're fucking
Everyone
old
was
as
pissed
shit.
that Arturo Vidal didn't get called up. I'm like, bro, he's 38. Like
hands. You can't get. You can't. You're not gonna get younger, so you might as well just keep it going.
Yeah, true. So, but it's like one of those things where I'm like,
that might be the longest stretch of a golden generation I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And they've gotten the better. I mean, obviously this was years ago, right? 7 years ago, but gotten the better over Argentina. They know how to win. I will say this though. There is a young player on Chile that I'm excited about. He's a winger. I don't know how much impact he's going to have. Osorio. I think he plays in the Danish Super League now.
Yeah, he plays for SC Midland.
Yeah.
And he had a really good season.
Yeah, 10 goal contributions. I think he's a solid player to keep an eye on. I think he can offer a spark to Chile, but Chile will literally against Peru and Canada will have to net out results to even have a shot. And I mean, not even just beating Canada and maybe tying Peru. Like they need to win. That first game is massively important against a Peruvian side that, bro, are like Hoppet said, absolute dogs are going to make it super difficult, and they know what it takes to progress in these tournaments. So
they're going to be on more so like how should I put it? Not on talent, but more so on mentality. That's going to be Peru's approach, I think. But again, like if you look at Canada's 2 qualifiers, or friendly, should I say, against Netherlands and France, for 3 out of the 4 halves, they played well. Again, Jesse Marsch just coming in as the new head coach after, we've had no decent coach since John Herdman left and took the TFC job. But we looked good against France. Again, I'm not trying to, glaze a friendly game here, but, France played a good squad. They had to, of course, get prepared for the Euros. Netherlands, the first half was really good. The second half, once the floodgate kind of opened, it kind of just opened up beyond belief, and they conceded all 4 goals in the second half. But I still think, the thing for me is that on paper, I think Canada's squad is much better than Chile and Peru. Just comes down to not only the mentality, but also the experience of playing in a Copa America. I think this is Canada's 3rd Copa America. Again, sometimes the CONMEBOL teams come in just to say, hello, how's it going? Remember us? Kind of thing. But I'm back in Canada still. I still think if they can in that second game, if they win against Peru, I think I'll be very confident in them progressing, even when, despite the Chile result. Because once they have that first win, they will continue to push forward. Again, there's kind of a momentum building right now in the Canadian world of soccer. They kind of have admitted defeat against Argentina, so they go, we can get a draw or a win. Of course, happy days. But
if they get a draw, holy shit! A
draw wouldn't be too surprising. Argentina have looked pretty good in their friendlies, but not the greatest. Again, Scaloni really stretched out his preliminary squad, just made the cut a few days ago. But
no Dybala, no Correa.
Correa got cut. Dybala wasn't even called to be.
That's what I'm saying. But to me, that's a snub. You know what I mean? And then you still call up Lo Celso, which doesn't inspire me.
Celso well, in the midfield, it's kind of like Calvin Phillips and Henderson for England. He's just so good for Argentina, and he's so reliable. I can understand why he would have been starting in the World Cup if it wasn't for his injury.
That's fair.
He was that good for Argentina. That's why we saw the emergence of McAllister come into his position, and that's why now McAllister's going to become kind of a mainstay at Argentina. But I would say 7 points at a minimum for Argentina. I think they will finish first, even if they get 7 points. But I think this battle between second and fourth is probably the most entertaining. I think the 3 teams in all the groups, to be honest.
It'll be fun. There's one player on Canada that I'm personally. So if anybody here, in the audience tunes into MLS, which we do have a Wake Up MLS series on this channel, I think Oluwayesi from Minnesota United is someone who is in honestly crazy form and had taken the league by storm in a way that I don't think anybody saw coming. Nobody saw Minnesota United doing anything in the season up to this point. They're actually one of the top dogs in the West, and it's led by that man, despite having guys like Pookie in that lineup. And so, I know everyone's talking about Davies and Laren and the Fonz, right? I think all those players are fantastic, but I think he's a striker under the radar that I would even look at, not just for picks and predictions for this Canada team, but as someone who can help them get over the line, man, because they're going to need it. I think the mentality piece for this Canadian team is going to be massive. But I think that there's some players that are low key that not many fans have their eyes on. He's one of them. So.
Just quickly add, there's really no pressure on Canada. They're just happy with the fact they're here. I mean, that we get to freaking go through a qualifier game against Trinidad and Tobago, which your boy Jose was at, which I didn't know.
I was there.
Crazy.
Yeah,
so he knows how shite that game was. But that's how far. I think we bottled a 2-goal lead against Jamaica to qualify at home. Yeah. So I think they qualified on away goals. So we're just kind of happy to be here, get the more name recognition out there and stuff like that. And in this group where I can see Canada qualifying again, make it to the quarterfinals, so that would be huge.
So I'll tell you how I had mine, but I'm totally down to hear any vetoes that you guys have. But legitimately, this is how I had it.
Chile second, really?
Yeah.
You know who I hate on Chile?
I have Argentina, Peru, Canada, Chile. but
fair.
I don't mind having Canada second if
you guys think Canada could go through, I think for CONCACAF that would be huge. I don't know of any, even here in the US, I don't even know of any fans that would be super mad at that.
But
Maybe
look
the
at the squad.
diehards,
The squad is really good. You know,
the squad is good.
David.
It's
Laren,
just mentality,
Davis.
man. I watched that Trinidad. I was there, right? We just talked about it. And,
But
against Trinidad,
we had some like crappy. I forget his name. Bielsa. There's some crappy interim because our actual good manager, John Herdman, who built the Canadian national team back up, bring back the enthusiasm, stuff like that, put us to a World Cup. He took the TFG job because there was no stability in the Canadian Soccer Association because they have no money, they don't invest, they don't want to bring in this.
The team looked like they won because they're better on paper. That's
exactly
what it was.
That's all they wanted was just to get through, just to be there, have their name in
Trinidad
this
had
prediction.
more than a few opportunities. There was one that hit the post, and then Tajon Buchanan looked lost. Davies was trying to do everything out of the back.
It is like a mid-season, during the season where all the players have other priorities as well, but. I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of with appointing a decent manager. I think Jesse Marsh is probably the best appointment the Canadian national team has ever done because of course John Herbert kind of grew into the world, stuff like that. He kind of made his name there. This is the first kind of big name we appointed. I mean, bloody Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Jose Mourinho were linked with the job as well because this team is becoming more aspiring. There's a lot of young talents now in the championship and making their names in the MLS as well. We have kind of our golden generation coming or already there. So. This is kind of Canada's moment to do something.
And by the way, I will say this: I don't know how it impacts your thought process, but Chile are the best odds to be runner-up in this group.
Yeah,
really?
Vegas odds. Yeah,
I'm not,
minus 120.
I think that's more so for a name than
maybe.
Yeah.
I think personally it's the manager. I think Gareca is proven in CONMEBOL. I think there's a massive amount of respect for that man. I think he has this old school mentality to how he even picks his player pools, and I think it's a big reason why Vidal got left home. I'll be honest. And I don't know. I think he's not going to put up with any bullshit in terms of mentality for this team. There's a lot of old heads. But who knows, man? Maybe I think was it Austin that told us Hoffman that Brereton Diaz wasn't going to get called up, but he did.
He got called up.
And then he couldn't speak Spanish, so they kicked him.
Apparently that was the rumor. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but either way, that's the mentality of Gareca, and I think that in these tournaments, this manager knows how to get through them, and maybe that's why they're second best favorites. But I'm down to go against the odds here, lads. We could do Canada, Peru, Chile, or Chile, Peru. I don't really have a preference.
Yeah, so the reports, by the way, quickly on Brereton Diaz are true. Apparently, he was drunk because he could speak Spanish. Today, if he wants to be playing for Chile, he's told that it's essential for him to learn Spanish.
I mean, it kind of is if he wants to have a national team career. But
I would they don't speak English down there.
You can't talk to your teammates, bro.
Talk to your team. Pretty much half your team is literally. They're literally playing
only Spanish. But watch, I know Hoffman hates Vargas, but watch Vargas pop up, bro. I'm saying.
Shut up! I hate that guy so much, man. Oh my god, how is he still playing?
I don't know, man. Him and Alexis, bro, they're gonna be out there.
Yeah. Alexis, I don't mind. He's quality player. I'll take my hat off. Vargas only turns up for Chile.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think based on betting odds, I think we'll put Chile here because they do have the betting odds. But I'm down to throw Canada in there. Fuck it. I say we do it. Let's leave them in there.
Peru the better side, but the betting favorites. We're gonna do our favorites. You gotta put Peru third.
Okay, we can. But if Chile makes it through the group, you guys won't hear the end of it. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, let's move on. We'll keep Group A right here. I'm totally down with this. It'd be cool. It would be cool as the hardest group in my opinion, because again, there's only one CONCACAF nation in there. If Canada were to advance and someone like Mexico did not,
would you guys consider Canada advancing like a shock, or would you say oh, that's something that we didn't expect, kind of thing?
If they advance,
yeah,
I don't know if it's more that we'll be shocked. It's just that
kind of surprising.
It's a little surprising, maybe because I don't know. It's hard to actually say because Canada should I feel like Canada should, based off on paper, Canada should qualify.
Yeah,
but it wouldn't be shocking if they didn't, and it would be shocking if they did. That makes sense.
Fair enough. I can
it's again for me. It's just from what I've seen most recently. Back this was in March, so it's been a few months since then, and it was what I saw in person. And it's they got in. That's great. I love that for Canada. It wasn't the most inspiring performance. So, and again, it's a one-off. They've drawn against France since then. There's a lot of hype around that. They could surprise me. But if they didn't get through, I think it equally wouldn't surprise me that much, if that makes sense. So, but we'll see how Group A nets out. Group B: Ecuador, Jamaica, Mexico, and Venezuela. In my opinion,
this is a fun group.
This is a fun group.
Again, I know what I sounded like a broken record, but I'm kind of liking this order already. I'm not gonna lie.
I think the Mexico fans tuning in would have a problem with that. I personally, I know I'm wearing a USA kit, guys. I'm Mexican American. I support both nations. I
Give
really
me a
want
USA Mexico final.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be that. I really would want Mexico to go through. I'll just be honest, bro. It's been 6 months of watching this team play friendlies or just international matches in general, and we've never seen a consistent version of this team under Jimmy Lozano. Like, we just haven't. And there's even more question marks with this team because guys like Memo Ochoa are left out. A lot of veterans were left home. They brought some youngsters in. We haven't seen Santi Jimenez get consistent minutes. It's like, I don't know what the fuck to expect with this team. And then you layer on an experience team like Ecuador. You layer on Jamaica having some ballers despite missing Leon Bailey. We'll talk about that. And then this Venezuela team who's young and probably the best version of themselves in recent years. Like, this whole group, man.
Pretty balanced.
It is pretty balanced. It is pretty balanced.
I'll give it, of course, on paper, like we talked about Canada. I'll give Mexico a bit of an edge for experience and talent, stuff like that. But with their recent performances, like Jose hinted at, this is kind of even. This is why I said I don't mind this order.
I do have Ecuador winning this group, though.
They should.
Okay.
I think so.
I definitely have Mexico and Ecuador making it through. I think that Jamaica, but I think that since this group is so even, I can sense the Jamaica Venezuela upset somewhere, whether it be against each other, whether it be against Ecuador or Mexico. Yeah. I don't know, but
bro, I can see Mexico beating Ecuador and then losing to Venezuela. I feel like that's the type of team right now that they are. Like they could have a crazy up and up game and then still find a way to get knocked out.
Let's go Jamaica first, which is good.
I see Ecuador beating Mexico, drawing to Venezuela, and then beating Jamaica.
So 7 points.
Mm-hmm.
No, 4 points. He said draw.
No, 7 points. Yeah.
Oh, 7. Okay, yeah.
Ecuador beats Mexico, draws to Venezuela, and beats Jamaica.
The Jamaica side is decent though. If they had Leon Bailey, they'd be a serious problem. Yeah,
I know.
He's too busy not getting paid by his country for some sort of reason. I don't know why he cares about that so much, but
I know, right?
I think it's more.
It's a matter of principle. I get it. It's just prerogative. I don't mind it, but like
I think he seems feel like they're unprofessional, and that's a big deal to him. I don't know, but
I've seen the podcast.
Yeah. I just think it's like one of those things where a man of principle. But besides that, it's a big miss for them. But they still got. I mean, let me ask you guys this because we're all Prem fans, right? Is this the type of tournament where Mikel Antonio can feast? Physical presence, workhorse, not the best finisher. Maybe he doesn't have to be. A couple scrappy goals, no. Not like.
Nah,
we don't rate West Ham strikers around here. All right, that's fair.
No, it's not. I don't rate West Ham strikers. I feel like this is a type of tournament where, I guess, if he had a better supporting cast, he might do better. But now, I feel like it's just he's gonna have to do a lot more work, and I don't think he's gonna end up scoring a lot of goals, helping Jamaica out. Like, I don't think Jamaica's gonna do. Jamaica's another one of those teams where you don't really expect much from, but they may surprise you. Or they just may do what they normally do and just don't play well. So I just don't think Antonio's going to have a good tournament. I don't think Jamaica's going to do well this tournament. That's just my feelings.
Yeah, I'm trying to base my picks on Jamaica around what I saw in the Gold Cup. I mean, in the Gold Cup, granted, different type. I mean, for Jamaica, they don't have an A and a B team. Like, they send their team to these tournaments. And I think in the Gold Cup, they had flashes, of looking pretty solid considering the competition. It was CONCACAF. CONMEBOL is going to be different, but I do think Venezuela gives them an opportunity to be relevant in this group. Honestly, the first game against Mexico is going to be telling of all of it. Like, if they could pull off the upset, it will be an upset because Mexico's a top.
If they pull off an upset against Mexico,
that's a huge upset.
Mexico needs to fucking wrap it up and just back this shit up.
I've been saying it, bro. This team doesn't inspire me at all, man. At all. Like, I know we have Edson Alvarez and Pineda and Romo and those guys.
I know, but like this is the team. Like, Jamaica's a must for Mexico and Ecuador. Jamaica's like a must-win game. Like, it's there's no questions about it. It's must win. You can't draw, can't lose. It has to be a win.
Y'all might see me cry on stream that day if we lose. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
If Jamaica beats Mexico and then USA loses to Bolivia, I don't even know if we ever see you again.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, no one fucking talk to me. First off, if US loses to Bolivia, that's worse. That's 1,000% worse.
I don't think it shouldn't happen, but
No. And that game's in Dallas. Like,
anything with Greg is possible.
Yeah, seriously.
Mexico are missing like one of their key players, of course, in Julian Araujo. So that's gonna be a big miss.
Yeah.
With him, they probably guarantee qualification.
But, I mean, so it's probably gonna be Jorge Sanchez, right? And like, Sanchez pisses me off because he cares more about fighting the players on the pitch than actually playing the game. Which is why he never succeeded at Porto or even Ajax for that matter. And now he's going back to Mexico. Mexico players are literally moving backwards. You had Marcelo Flores get picked up by Arsenal, and then within 2 years is back at Tigres, and it's like they're literally moving backwards from being prospects moving abroad to now coming back home. It's just, I don't know. This national team's in a really weird spot. But with that said, if we had to put this in order, are we thinking Jamaica or Mexico?
I think like Ecuador and Mexico, you can pick an order. Then Jamaica, Venezuela, you can pick an order. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I have.
It might be
Venezuela.
this.
I don't know. That's just.
I think Venezuela gets it over. I think in a 1v1, Venezuela gets it over Jamaica.
Really? You think Rondon's that good?
Rondon's on fire, man.
He looks good for Pachuca, bro. He looks good. I'm not gonna.
He's 7. What is it? 7 goals in like 9 games, 10 games, something like that.
But there was that wrong Pachuca.
But Venezuela kind of fall into that Peru category where they're just dogs, man. Like they'll just go out there and like 2-foot slide tackle you just to get a referee decision and just get in your head. Like that's just.
Yeah, he's coming off the CONCACAF Champions League win, so like he's on a high, right? And he is the oldest player in that very young team. And same thing here. Venezuela has a lot of youth talent, and it's going to be him and I think Rincon who are like the 2 old heads, and they're just going to be there to kind of keep the games moving.
Did Damari Gray get called up to Jamaica?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And where is he at right now? Is he in Saudi?
Yeah, he's in Saudi.
Yeah.
He's like fucking 25.
Hey, bro, but if we're following what the Saudi players and the Euros are doing, maybe there's some hype, I guess, coming into this Copa America, bro. Maybe. There's a Conte revival for France, so like I don't know.
But I think it's 100 IQ by Conte. Conte went to Saudi to literally rest his body for the Euros.
Probably, yeah, 1000%.
So he doesn't take any physicality from the Prem or anywhere else. He looks fresh as fuck. Like, it's like he never skipped a beat. Like literally, I think he went to Saudi literally just to rest his body.
Homie's just out there playing pickup games. Yeah, I don't know, bro. It's wild, but I don't mind this. If Mexico were to go through, I've had this very bold take on social media up to this point. I've been saying that Mexico, based on recent performances, in my opinion, will get grouped. I feel like they lack the mentality. I don't know what it is.
No, I don't know.
I
can see it happening. I just I can't put I just can't put Mexico not making it out of the group.
Yeah, I think for the sake of this prediction, we have to have them going through.
Yeah.
But not first. They're not going to win.
And I could be completely wrong with Jamaica, by the way. Like Jamaica can all of a sudden come out. I mean, it's not like they do have talent, and like they're a lot more talented than like 6 years ago. But it just I don't know. It's another one of those teams that doesn't really move me right now.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not mad at this. I think this to me looks fine. I think Jamaica, at the end of the day, I don't think anybody has massive expectations of them. So Venezuela getting an upset over them, but maybe falling short of Ecuador and Mexico, totally fine, I think. Are we good here?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Group C. The one most stateside fans will care about. And this is not how the order is going to fucking look. So
not this one.
Maybe inverse, right? Maybe the other way around.
Let's come back to this in a week and a half and see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think we can all agree, right? The easy pick out of all of this, Bielsa's men should, in my opinion, dominate this group. I think this is
the scariest I've seen Uruguay. I know they won. I know they won the 2012, 2011 Copa America, but I was on my Barcelona mode then. I wasn't really into the national team.
Sure.
But
this is scary.
This is the scariest I've seen them. I mean, I remember watching the game back in November when they faced Argentina, and absolutely cooked Darwin. I never seen a quicker player than Darwin.
Bro, for Uruguay, this man is prime R9. For Liverpool, I don't know what happens. Like, I think it's just a concentration thing, probably more than anything else. But bro, he bags his goals for his country, and it's not just him.
Pellistri balls out for fucking. It's the reason why United fans were like, "Why the fuck is Pellistri not playing?" He's literally balls out for you.
Just the way Bielsa has them set up, like it's tailor made for them to make a good run.
Bro, but it's not even just those guys, bro. It's Luis Suarez, it's Ugarte, it's Bentancur, it's Fede Valverde, it's Araujo.
I don't think Suarez is gonna start. I feel like he's gonna be coming off the bench, maybe just be that kind of bench.
But he's in good form. He's in really good form right now.
Yeah, I mean Suarez is, I think he can definitely hack it against Bolivia, Panama, maybe even America as well. Get the knee injection in there and keep it moving. But this is a very scary Uruguay team. Of course, their midfield, Bentancur, Fede Valverde. I'm pretty sure it's still Muslera in goal, right? So it's
honestly, this is the order, bro. This is the order.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'd kind of say Bolivia ahead of Panama.
Really?
Yeah. Again, this is gonna sound so weird, but Bolivia falls into that Venezuela, Peru category. They're just dogs, man. They just go out.
They are, but bro, Bolivia, like historically in this tournament, have been shite, like absolute shite. And more importantly, their fans don't travel for anything. Like it's like they don't even care, bro. Like. At least Panamanians like travel and support their team, and they'll have somewhat of a presence. But I don't know, man.
I like dog mentality. It's just that South American dog mentality that gets to me.
Yeah,
even though Panama are South American too. But
yeah, for real, man.
Nicer.
Yeah, but I think Panama, and also I think there's some of that recent Gold Cup history between them and the U.S. Like that will actually be a good game. Coco Carrasquilla will feature quite a bit for Panama, and maybe he'll show up a little bit more than he has been in Major League Soccer this season. But I don't know, man. I think USA absolutely has to win against Bolivia and Panama. The final game is against Uruguay. If they drop points against either of those teams, I don't know what happens. They might be out. They legitimately might be out. Like, just depending what happens elsewhere. I don't know, man, but this is like the first game is this coming Sunday against Bolivia in Dallas, and they have to win. They absolutely have to win. Before we go to Group D, I'm kind of curious for the U.S.'s perspective. I wanted to ask one question because I've been thinking about this a lot. Who do you think makes more of an impact in this tournament from the U.S. perspective, Balogun or Pepi?
Oof.
It's tough. I like Pepi. I love Pepi. I'll be honest.
I would say I would just because he plays at a bit of a higher level.
But I would argue
sort of more for America than
I would say Pepi has. I feel like Pepi has better chemistry than Balogun for some reason. Like Balogun, ever since besides like the first game he's played for the U.S. in every game after that, it's been like a hit or miss. It wasn't anything consistent. I feel like Pepi, when he comes off the bench, he always gives a lot more energy. He fits. He meshes better with the squad. So I feel like Pepi. I mean, Balogun's going to start. We already know that, but
we know that.
I feel like Pepi shouldn't be not looked at for maybe one of these games as a starting 9.
Yeah.
So,
I think so. I think it'll be matchup based, but Balogun should get more starts. I think even if he comes off the bench, though, I could see Pepi outscoring Balogun in this tournament. Like, I really can. I think he's, for whatever reason, I just feel like he's got more of a striker's instinct. I don't know why. I think Balogun sometimes whether it's his runs, his positioning, or maybe his ability to be physical with the center backs that are guarding him, it's like sometimes he's just not in the right place at the right time. Whereas like Pepi, I feel like he really is. We saw it in Champions League this past season with PSV, and I feel like, like Max alluded to, his link-up play with the players around him just a little bit better. So I don't know. I think Pepi could be really interesting to follow in this tournament. But we'll see. He will be coming off the bench. We'll find out. But US, if you not make out of this group, we're fucked.
I don't even think Balogun had a good season this year.
He did.
No, Monaco, he was,
but don't forget,
down season.
Don't forget about America. They got Matt Turner in goals. Anything can happen.
The version of Matt Turner that shows up,
he did pretty well against Brazil.
He did.
Well.
He also, conceded 2 own goals in the Premier League, and again, and he was so bad. Not for it to go out in the January change window, spent like 20 million on keepers.
Yeah, I will say this though. I think Matt Turner, for whatever reason, I think he's a tournament keeper. I don't think he's like a season-long keeper where like
this, by the way, is a huge miss for America, especially for the season.
Massive miss,
especially for the season that he just had as well.
Who is
Sergio Dest?
Oh yeah, massive miss. We're starting Joe Scally and Chris Lund. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not too big on Joe Scally.
I mean, I know he's got European experience. It's just like, he looks awkward out there.
Yeah, he looks very weird.
It's either that or Shaq Moore though. So
yeah, I mean, I'd rather play. I think they'd rather start me than Shaq Moore.
Get the call, Max. Get the call up.
Yeah.
I'd rather start DeAndre back there than Shaq.
Yeah, I'm trying to get DeAndre Yellen back than fucking Shaq Moore.
Yeah, it's tough, bro. It's tough. Not distracted MLS, but I don't know if he's at that level. So I don't know. We'll find out. But this should be the order. We'll see how it goes. Group D, man.
You smell that? I smell an upset.
I do smell an upset in this one.
This is the group where I think it will go the ordinary way. I think probably everyone has it in this order.
Here's my picks, bro. Here's my picks. Ready? No, I'm kidding. That's mine.
That's not terrible.
No, that's not terrible. I think
it's like the Mexico group. The top 2 and the bottom 2 are quite even. Just depends on what order they come in.
I do have Colombia only because Colombia has been lights out for the last 35 games. And
22 games in a row unbeaten.
It's just Brazil just ain't Brazil lately. You had the Ronaldinho post that came out as well, which turned out to be all PR. Am I surprised? No. You have Endrick having, I'm going to drop some huge announcement.
Is he the striker, by the way?
It's going to be some brand deal.
Do you know what Brazil remind me of? The Lakers. Like, they're all entertainment at this point.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of just entertainment. And it's just like there's
the issue is they take so much backlash because they're such a huge country, football, like probably the biggest, in the whole world, right? But they do obviously care, but I feel like they're focused on how they dress, the earrings, then them pulling up in their Beats headphone, like, oh yeah, we're this, we're that. And it's just like
this is not the Brazil that we know.
They're flashy.
This is not the Brazil that we know. And I feel like they're lacking. I truly think Thiago Silva should have made the squad. I feel like they're lacking some type of senior experience on the squad.
Yeah,
like
the fact that Danilo is coming as your captain, that's fucking says enough.
That's
crazy, actually.
That's
Danilo lifting the Copa America, bloody hell.
Yeah, they need some kind of experience, I think, because on paper, to me, that's the difference between Colombia and Brazil. I think Colombia has like a fundamentally sound team, that aren't chock full
balanced.
superstars. Like James is still playing. But and then they have a few. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they don't, but I feel like they work for each other. Whereas like I think we're going to see Brazil stumble because of just star power, fighting for the ball, fighting for the attention on the pitch, and wanting
look
to
at how they're playing as well. Their midfield on paper looks absolutely shite.
They're
They're two friendlies. They barely beat Mexico. They needed like 2 extra time goals to win it. Then they drew 1-1 with America as well. Like it's just a team that's imbalanced, lacks experience, and again, too much, not star power, but like too much players that are giving it the big and on their own. Like Vinicius goes and drops masterclass for Madrid, comes here, has only 2 goals or 3 goals for his whole entire Brazilian career. Like just doesn't turn up. They have no traditional striker. They're either playing Vinicius or Rodrigo up front. Like it's just weird. Their coaches change left, right, and center as well. I don't even know I'll be honest, I don't even know who their coach is. I saw pictures of who the coach was, but I never heard of him. I don't even know what's happening there. Like what minute I see them announcing their squad with one face, another squad with another face. Like I got no idea.
And they're beefing turmoil with the squad, and
it's very much like giving me vibes of the golden generation of England, where like the entire squad are just kind of there with each other, but there's like kind of groups and they kind of like are in it for themselves a little bit. They of course want to win it and stuff like that, and they kind of have to. I would say they kind of have to win it after the few years they've had, losing at the Maracanã to Argentina. Hold that. But stuff like it's a tournament where they have to reach the final. Of course, to get onto the how the bracket works, but that's their expectation going into this game. But like, there's a genuine, I would say right now, a higher chance that they don't even make the final.
But the big issue with Brazil is like even the lineup. Like, who starts at striker right now?
It's fucking Vinicius. I think
it's Vinicius, or I'm pretty
Rodrigo,
sure how
I think it's Vinicius and Rodrigo, and then
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Vinicius, Rodrigo, and
Endrick off the bench.
No, so their front 3 is gonna be Vinicius, Rodrigo, Rafinha. Who's at number 9? It ain't gonna be Rafinha at the number 9. I'll tell you that right now for free.
But then you go to their
Vinicius or Rodrigo.
Then you go to their midfield. It's Bruno, Douglas Luiz, and Paqueta.
Yeah, like it's just mid. Their back line as well. Wendell playing a left back. How's this man still kicking?
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, he's not bad for Porto, bro.
Marcelo,
he's okay.
Roberto Carlos, Wendell. Yeah. I mean, like, and the squad is good. I would say it's definitely on paper enough to get to a final, maybe even win it in a finals 50-50 game. So you never know. It's definitely good enough. I'm just looking at it now, like it's just nothing but pure midfielders and attackers. They have no defensive. I'd rather chuck Gabriel Magalhaes at left back and have Wendell. Like just get some sort of experience and some sort of like.
They might as well go 3 in the back. That's kind of
that's what I'm thinking. You have Bian Couto, who's a wing back for Girona, so that could work as well. But they're very traditional Brazil, which I respect. Argentina are kind of the same thing as well.
But with this team, like
how many players is their first Copa America? Like,
that's a good question. I think Rafinha was in the last one. What was he
actually?
A good amount.
Because up front, bro, the reason I asked the question about Endrick is because they're very inexperienced up front. Minus Vinny and Rodrigo, Savinho, Rafinha, Evan Nilsson, Endrick, Martinelli, Pepe.
Here's the thing, though. You put Neymar in this squad, they're easily, I would say with Neymar in their team, they would come in as the favorites. Simply because Argentina.
Absolutely.
Yeah, simply because Argentina, they've just come off the back of 2 tournaments. Maybe they're going to be a bit on the back burner. Brazil have more to fight for. I think Neymar, I know he's not like, a captain per se on paper. Maybe he's in the dressing room. I'm not quite too sure. But he brings that kind of, aura.
But you can see the difference when Neymar plays on the pitch and when he's not on the pitch.
Exactly. You see him in the Copa America final. That might be one of the best individual performances I've seen over the past few years. Of course, taking like Messi out of the picture from his individual performance. That Copa America final, if you go watch my live watch along, it's still up. Every time he touched the ball, I was bricking it. He was unreal in that game, only because his front line couldn't finish. He couldn't finish on the day as well, but he was turning to pull a new one. He was cooking the likes of Romero and Otamendi in behind. And when he comes in as the captain, you're gonna have it's Neymar. I guess he didn't live up to expectations, Ballon d'Or, stuff like that, but it's still Neymar at the end of the day. So I think him in this squad just makes that one extra difference. But not having that leader there, not having that kind of player who's been there for the national team since he was like what 16, 17.
16, 17.
It's a team that one loss, I think, or one drop. If they drop points to Paraguay, even a draw would be like a huge thing. I think they crumble after that. I think if they win all their group games, maybe get a draw against Colombia, they'll have some momentum. But I think if they drop points against Costa Rica or Paraguay, the whole thing is going to get lifted, especially with the media in Brazil as well.
Yeah, I agree. That's exactly why I think we have it like this. I back Colombia just for where they are mentally and based on just recent performances. So
valid.
Are we good with this order?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Knockout rounds. Argentina, Mexico would be fire. I'm not even gonna lie. It would be
dope to watch. But Yeah, we
know who wins, but I'm just saying
we had Mexico second, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's either this or potentially like I don't know, maybe somehow Jamaica turns some heads and
Or
they get
Ecuador.
in here. But I still think no matter what, you got to back Argentina. If we get another version of the group stage match we saw in the 2022 World Cup, I will take it. I will gladly take it. I think that was a banger match between these two nations. Ecuador, Canada. This was interesting.
Give me Canada, man. Give me Canada. I'm telling you.
Valencia's gonna dunk on Canada. Come on.
I'm telling you.
A lot of experience on that Ecuadorian side, bro.
I don't know. I think if Canada just qualified from the group, they will have some momentum. And again, I think on paper, personnel wise, Canada's better than Ecuador.
Bro,
of course.
Can you imagine the hype if we have Canada going into a fucking semifinal of a Copa America?
I'm not putting Canada in the fucking quarterfinal or semifinal. Sorry,
there's
Canada, no way.
It's a Canada Argentina semifinal. I
think
think
CONCACAF hype would be insane in this video. That's all I'm going to say.
I would. This is my hot take. I think the two teams that progress from Argentina's group will be the two that are in the semifinal. So whether it's Peru or Chile, I think those two teams will be in the semifinal. That's why I'm starting.
I cannot put Canada in those six. Goddamn. Semifinal.
If I'm outvoted, I'm outvoted. But just so you know, I'm predicting a little Argentina Canada semifinal.
Man, damn, this is tough, bro. I gotta ride with Max on this one, man. I think Ecuador's.
No. If I was betting,
I would love to see a Canada. Don't get me wrong, my Canadians, my fellow North American brothers. I would love to see Canada. I'm not trying to disrespect.
Yeah, it's just.
Without being no disrespect, I cannot.
Come on, Max. I'm only like a 5-hour drive away from you. Come on now.
You really are, though. You really are.
Yeah. He's not that far, bro. I think I don't know, man. It'd be crazy if Canada won, and I would love the hype.
Imagine if Canada would get further than America. They will not live that down.
No, I know.
They will delay that.
And maybe that's playing in my mind. I'm like, there's no way Canada beats both Mexico and US to advance.
Would we say on paper right now that Canada's a better team than America? I think it's pretty even. I would give the edge just to America, but I think on paper, like
it's not too. I wouldn't say it's probably too far off.
No, it's not too far.
I'm saying, man, Canada either going to shock everyone and make it to a semifinal, or they're just going to be absolutely shy and let the occasion get themselves and finish fourth in this group. That's how I see it. But I still think that whoever finishes first and second in that Group A will be the semifinalists in that side.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see.
It's kind of weird how they set this bracket up, eh? Bloody hell.
Yeah.
I expect like Argentina to face someone from this group, and then kind of join them.
Yeah, no, it's literally A and B versus C and D. Like it's
benefits me though. I don't care.
Uruguay and Brazil would be the setup if Brazil does not win the group. Brazil need to win the group for this reason because, in my opinion, I think Uruguay is going to win. I have them winning the whole event.
I think either way, semifinals, quarterfinals, I think Uruguay takes it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, bro. They're right now. This version of Brazil, I back Uruguay. Bielsa masterclass incoming.
That's not terrible at all.
But
we just saw this game play out. It was 5-1. So US, it's been real. Colombia, take this. It is what it is.
Look at this, man. The top two in each group progressing. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's literally
what I'm saying. I feel like Argentina's top two, then like the Uruguay Colombia group, those top two just semifinal, which again is kind of boring because you already saw those in the group games. This is why I think the setup is a bit weird. That's why I was quite surprised when the draw happened. I saw how easy Argentina's route is. Of course, on paper, anything in football can happen. Mexico might just have an absolute mad one, or whatever the case may be. But just the setup, I think, is kind of weird.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, also too, like we would essentially see all CONCACAF nations bow out at the same time, which then the debate continues as to who runs this confederation. But I think if US were to somehow put in a shift for a full 90 against Colombia and like
let's
net
ask
out a crazy upset, it'd be wild.
Let's ask this: do you think one of your teams will make the semifinal?
I think USA have the best shot, but if this is how it's going to go.
Well, USA either if they progress, they're either facing Uruguay or Colombia, no matter if they finish first or second.
Yeah, exactly. So or if we get first for whatever reason, we get potentially Brazil.
Brazil or Colombia,
and we've seen Brazil already beat I think they didn't beat us, right? But in my opinion, on paper, if it wasn't for that Pulisic masterclass of a free kick, which that's really what it was,
I think Brazil probably win that game narrowly. It's all fine margins.
Yeah. I don't know. Brazil could shit the bed in this tournament too. Like I'm not going to rule that out. I'm just saying I feel like.
But it's crazy how one win for Brazil and everything like flips on its head. We're kind of predicting there's going to be some sort of a down period for them. But like if they win their if they don't drop points, I forget who's in their group, Paraguay and Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Then they'll then they draw against Colombia. Then I think everything's gonna be going as expected.
And I feel like Costa Rica is not even like a walk in the park.
No, they won't be. Joel
Brian Ruiz
Campbell's
still playing for them?
playing for Costa Rica. That shit's crazy.
That's
Is
crazy.
Brian Ruiz still there?
I'm about to say, is Brian Ruiz still there?
No. Keylor Navas won't be either, so that's a big miss for them.
Brian Ruiz, man, what a legend.
Yeah, bro. Dempsey would agree with you.
Fulham legend, shout out.
Yeah, bro. Shout out Fulham. Even if I don't see us in any scenario where USA wins the group, so it's either Colombia or Brazil, and I think in a CONMEBOL tournament in a knockout round, I'm being realistic. I back either one of those nations to beat the US. So when it matters most. And even in other tournaments we've gotten Brazil, we've done the Confederations Cup back in 2009. We were beating Brazil 2-0 and still lost 3-2. Like, fucking is what it is.
Hafid, I will say Canada has a better shot than the US and Mexico to make it to the semis.
For sure.
Matchup.
Based off matchup, 1000%. If Canada were to make it through and Mexico, US got eliminated, it would be.
I'd probably stop watching international football.
Yeah, I'd be in shambles, bro. It'd be fucking done.
I'd probably stop. I'd probably don't even make the World Cup, so don't give me anything to watch.
Ryan's down the reference.
Well, we actually, it doesn't really matter. We have to make. We're in.
We're in. But I might go.
So are we. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is a dress rehearsal for that tournament. And if Canada goes through for whatever reason the semifinals and we don't, fire Greg and get a real fucking manager. Same thing for Mexico. Fire Lozano and get a real manager. That's all I'm going to say, bro. Jesse Marsh beats both those teams.
If we won, fire Greg and so get another manager, please.
Facts. Big facts. All right. Semifinals, Argentina, Ecuador, which could be a trap game at this stage of the tournament, just depending on what Ecuador, what version of Ecuador really shows up. If they get an early goal, you never really know. I don't know, man. This one to me, I'll back Argentina off the vibes and off of what they've done recently, but it wouldn't surprise me.
I'll say this: I think if if Argentina get to that first quarterfinals, semifinals, it will be a breeze. I think the quarterfinals is where their trap game will be, where an upset is available, because we've seen that with Argentina a lot in the recent years. Once they get past that first knockout round game, it's an all right track to the final. For example, the World Cup, it was Netherlands. At the Copa America, it was Colombia, where we needed a penalty shootout. So once we pass that, which I think it will be the first one, then I think the finals in sight.
That's fair. And plus, I'll be honest, it sets up a dream final if they make it, right? Which is what I want. I definitely want the most competitive final possible. Which brings us to our other semifinal, Uruguay and Colombia, which I think you can't really go wrong here. I think Uruguay is the better team, but Colombia's on this crazy streak right now of form. So,
but here's the thing: if Colombia, let's say, lose a group game but still get to this point, then that streak is gonna go. I think this game comes down to how the teams reach this point. Do Uruguay fly and smash Brazil, and they narrowly beat Brazil in penalty shootout? Do Colombia struggle but get it over the line? I think the track of how they get there will determine who is the massive favorite. I think whoever the massive favorite is gonna qualify. I don't see an upset based on the form coming in this tournament, in this game. That's how I see it.
Yeah. I think where Uruguay matches up really well is going to be in the back line against that forward line, who honestly, they're not mid players for Colombia, but they're not guys that just make me feel really confident in their scoring ability. In fact, their midfielders are probably a little more lethal.
To add to that point, this is going to be Ronald Araujo's first proper tournament for Uruguay as well. He was
out for Jimenez, right?
Yeah, I think he'll be. I think Araujo will be right back, and it'll be Jimenez and someone else that's center back. I forget who the other guy is, but this is his first tournament, and I think the last Copa America he didn't get called up. He was a bit too young. He was just breaking through for Barcelona. The World Cup, he was injured, and he got a lot of slack in the Uruguay media for kind of prior to the Barcelona over the national team. But shout out to my Uruguay. But this is like his first proper tournament for Uruguay, and they're coming in on hot form, and I think there won't be really any defensive frailties from him. So that's why I think we can all agree that Uruguay will be the pick here. It's going to be Argentina versus Uruguay / Brazil. Really, I think Colombia, they'll have their moments, but I don't think they'll have that edge against whether it be Uruguay or Brazil in this semifinal position.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's gonna be Oliveira, by the way, in terms of the other center back. So from Napoli.
The left back?
Sorry, no. Not Oliveira. Who am I thinking of?
Bro.
Who pairs with Jimenez usually for Uruguay?
Dodi.
Oh, Christ.
Uruguay's
another team that could run three in the back if they really wanted to.
Is it Caceres?
No, I think he's got like a Suarez role. He's kind of on the bench.
I don't even think he got called up.
I thought he got called up.
I think he got called up. Let me.
Yeah, look at the lineup really quick. I'd be really curious because I think Araujo could have games where he starts a center back. It just depends, like what Bielsa wants to do. But he is their most athletic defender to play that.
No, you're right. They're playing Oliveira at center back in the last game. They have Ugarte, of course, who can play there.
Yeah.
That was in the game against Mexico.
Yeah.
But in their other game against Costa Rica,
which will be a similar
No,
lineup, I expect.
No, it's just pure like bench players. I don't think they called their squad up for this game yet. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah,
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out. All right, let's do third place first.
Oh, there's a third place game for this? Oh.
There's a bronze final. So I don't know, man. I think Colombia.
It's between whoever's here between Colombia and Brazil will win it because they gotta get some sort of pride into it.
Yeah. I think it's going to be, in my opinion, Colombia. I think I rate them heavily, and I know a lot of people call them a dark horse. You can't call Colombia a dark horse when they're not.
You know what's going to be a dark horse? Canada being fourth place.
Oh, okay.
You're damn right. You're damn right.
Could you imagine Canada playing, bro? That would be their final. 100%.
100%.
Like, that would be their
Canada,
final.
Colombia. If Canada, of course, reaches this point, their form is going to be ridiculous. I'd back them.
Bro, if Canada were to make it this far and then beat Colombia after the 5-1 shellacking that they gave the U.S., bro, oh my God, it'd be insane.
And again, the Canadian media, which I work in, they're gonna glaze the life out of this. Absolutely glaze it.
Yeah, as they should, to be honest, bro, as they should.
Yeah, let's have our moment, man. Come on,
1000%. But let's be real. Ecuador, I think it's a good feel-good team for this tournament. It would be not a Cinderella run by any means, but someone who I think most people aren't picking to win. A third place game would be pretty cool in their own right, but I think Colombia wins that one. And then, man, Uruguay,
what a final this would be. I'd rather have this final than Argentina Brazil. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. I want to, again, like I mentioned about the Uruguay Brazil clash. I think whoever goes into that game, I said based on the form Uruguay Colombia, whoever went into that form in the tournament would have the edge. This is a bit of a save. I think, of course, right now on paper, not seeing any games so far, it's 50-50. From an Argentina fan perspective, I see ourselves 99% in the final, bearing, of course, that we get past that trap game that we talked about once they kind of, I feel like Argentina will struggle in that quarterfinal game, whether it's going to be Mexico or Ecuador. I think they'll struggle in that game. I think they'll get it over line where it's going to be a last-second goal, whether it's like 80th minute and onwards, penalty shootout, extra time. I think that's how it's going to tail. Then semifinals would be a breeze between whoever we face in our group. But till this point, again, it's going to be this. I think the storyline will have a big effect because Argentina now they're going for legacy. They've done it all already. Can you do it twice? Everyone talks about this in the NBA and hockey as well. You can win one title, sure, that's cool. But everyone respects you and backs you when you not only defend your title, but win it more times. That's kind of the same thing that Argentina are kind of on right now. So, I mean,
I think
I'm
this
backing the boys, obviously.
I know, yeah, we know who you're backing.
We know you're backing. But I feel like this game is either going to be.
I'd be more worried for Uruguay final than Brazil. I think it was Brazil. We cooked them.
I feel like if
get in their heads, finish them.
If Uruguay wants to win this game, it's going to be like a 1-0 or to a penalty shootout.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So
I wouldn't be surprised if Bielsa just scam nils this to a penalty shootout. But the thing is, right, with the penalty shootout, you have Dibu, right? I know people hate to say that, but he is kind of a little bit of an X factor in penalty shootouts, and not only for Aston Villa, but for Argentina as well. So do you want to risk, trying to play mind games with someone who's been playing mind games all this time as well? So I feel like the 1-0 is going to be where they go, just get off the pace first 15, 20 minutes. Maybe that's how they beat us in the November friendly. They got the first early goal on the break from Darwin Nunez. We couldn't break them down. They got another one on the counterattack, but by the moon, they win 2-0. They're over the moon. They beat the world champions. That's, I think, the way they.
That was also the first loss for Argentina, right? Right after
taking down the Saudi Arabia game, yeah. First loss in South America in quite some time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do we bet against Messi in a final?
For Argentina, I mean, I don't know. The record's pretty even.
I would say in general, like club or international.
I mean, you really don't bet against Messi, but.
The only final I've seen Messi play shite in was the World Cup in 2014. That's the only final I've seen Messi play.
He still wasn't the worst player on the pitch.
He still wasn't the worst, but performance-wise, that was his worst. But again, I think the team would just fight for him. They're thinking, we want to win this Copa America for Messi on the bus yesterday. It's like bloody hell, man. It's not. It's all tailor-made for Messi to go on and win this. I think it comes down to, again, Uruguay not only their progress, or Brazil. I think we can all agree it's going to be either Uruguay or Brazil. It's not only about their progression to the final, but also their game plan. Did they go toe to toe? Did they sit back and hit on the break? I think the best approach against Argentina in a final as well, sit back. If France sat back in the World Cup final, things would have been much different. But of course, they kind of want to go for the defending champions, open up the game. That's why you saw Argentina's goal, counterattack for the penalty, counterattack for the Di Maria goal, counterattack for the Messi equalizer in extra time as well. That's where Argentina thrive. When they're the clear favorite against, let's say Mexico, stuff like that, they will be more open because they believe in their ability. But against these lesser size or even their matchups, they want that team to be a bit more open. Because if they're a bit more defensive, then I think the final, no matter who it is, I think it will go into extra time.
I think so too.
Yeah. The penalties, I don't know, but I think extra time is
Yeah, I know Hoppet's taking Argentina. I'll be honest, I'm taking Uruguay.
I'm taking Uruguay. I also have a bet on Uruguay to win it, so I mean,
I'll go Dibu.
I was gonna say it's up to Max, bro. It's totally up to Max. But if that's
So,
the case, then I will say this: Hoppet will never let us hear the end of it if Argentina do win it again.
I don't
So
think
it
really
is what it is.
No,
this one is like, if Argentina won, it's kind of expected. Like,
yeah. So I wouldn't really break
guys
it.
The underdogs here, so like,
Unless we like barely win all of our quarter games and y'all are chatting shit during the game, I will not really celebrate it that much.
Fair. Well, we'll see how it all nets out, man. But we made our prediction. This is going to be potentially
Canada semifinals. Canada third place. You heard it here first.
This is potentially going to be what is it? Uruguay's, if they win, it's their 15th, I think. Copa America,
something like that,
which would be a record in their own right. So that they're fighting for a little bit of history here too. We'll find out. We'll see what all happens, man. But that's it, man. Those are our Copa predictions. Before we wrap up, I'm just kind of curious, man. Like, we don't have to go through like awards per se, but if you had to pick one player of the tournament not named Leo Messi, who do you guys backing?
I'm backing my my boy Araujo. I just think if we have Uruguay getting to the final, I just think he's gonna lock down whoever the Brazil attack, whatever order they have in there. I think Uruguay are gonna keep a lot of clean sheets in this tournament, and they'll come down to, of course, defense with Araujo being there. For the Argentina perspective, if you're taking away Leo Messi, the pole always turns out for Argentina. He just turns some sort of different dog for Argentina. Di Maria is always on fire as well. I think Lautaro has a lot to prove in this game after his stinker at the World Cup. He is apparently
great form too.
Yeah. It's apparently now if Scaloni is still debating who to start up front, and Julian Alvarez or Lautaro. Because you have Julian who plays well for Argentina, hasn't played too much for Man City. Lautaro, stellar, elite for Inter, dog crap for Argentina. So Lautaro's becoming a bit of a Higuain, which was talked about a lot at the World Cup. So
good old 2014.
Do you know who I'll give it to Argentina? Christian Romero. Worst kid out this. The best center back that I've seen with my eyes is Gerard Piqué, right? The only shadow I've seen of him was Christian Romero at that 2021 Copa America. The man was so integral. We pumped this man up with drugs to play the final like no tomorrow. He was not fit at all. Not fit. I think he missed the semifinal against Colombia, and he was not even close to get the final. They pumped this man up with juice beyond belief to play that game, and he had a very, very good game, of course, apart from the 1v1s against Neymar, which everyone got cooked, not just him.
Yeah.
So I am picking two defenders here in Romero and Araujo, but I just rate them both so highly.
Well, I got Valverde. I think this is Valverde.
Guy, man. I'll tell you this right now. If Uruguay win it, it will be anyone but Valverde. He is because now there's no Madrid PR in South America. So
those Valverde he has to stop.
Unless he scores some 40-yard long shot, then they might give it to him. Then
I think Valverde was probably going to be the most important player for this Uruguay side. I think everything's going to be run through him. Obviously, Darwin Nunez is going to be important, or Ronald Araujo, but I think Valverde is what is going to keep this Uruguay team together, and he's probably going to be the X factor in them going this far or winning it all. So,
who's the captain for Uruguay?
I think is it not Valverde? No,
the starting captain. Maybe
Bentancur. I don't know. That's a good question.
Maybe it's
Jimenez. Jimenez is very, very seasoned for Uruguay.
The issue is that Muslera is there, so he's a veteran.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find him because I think.
Hey, by the way, you see your boy Fawn's got the captaincy for Canada.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
Oh, it's Jimenez.
Oh, that's what I said. There you go.
There you go. Okay.
I think it makes sense. Just considering how long he's
Valverde
been.
is the vice captain, so
there you go.
But I would say before that, another player I'm actually very interested to watch because after a record signing from his former team and kind of a up and down season, Moises Caicedo, I want to see how he plays this tournament.
Bro, him and Ngapié are going to be, I think, just two under the radar players that stand out in a big way in this tournament. I don't know. Ecuador has some low key ballers, So we'll see what happens. I'm actually going to pick Dibu. I think despite Uruguay potentially,
Dibu is only winning it if we win a penalty shootout.
True. Well, but I think player of the tournament. I think about just impact, and I think Dibu will be big in this tournament. And in every stage of it, the group stage as well as the knockouts.
I feel like you're going to have at least one penalty shootout. Argentina for sure.
Probably.
There's going to be at least.
I think the one penalty shootout.
Mexico, watch.
It's going to be that again. It's going to be that quarterfinal and the final. That's where the bananas time will come for Argentina. Hopefully not the first game against Canada either, because that could also be it. It's either going to be the first game quarterfinal or the final. That's where they could have their blip moment where they survive the blip or they lose the blip that they did against Saudi Arabia in the World Cup. That's what remains to be seen. But I don't. I really okay. We all know that if Argentina win it, Messi's gonna win it. But if they were to give it to someone else, I don't see it being Debo. Despite the fact that I do agree with you, I think him and Romero, DePaul and Messi are like the kind of the core four. They're kind of more integral piece. You can chuck in Di Maria there if you want to make it.
I was
like
gonna say
even
Di
5.
Maria.
Yeah, but the problem with Di Maria is that he's not going to play too many minutes because
mm-hmm.
age is kicking in for him a little bit.
I mean, McAllister will probably get minutes or like a significant amount of time. I would say.
Yeah, because it's kind of the low key shout from the World Cup because he didn't start the World Cup. He got it was after Scaloni realized that Paredes is straight doo doo. That he had to change it up a little bit. But I don't see it to be Debo. I don't think apart from, of course, Donnarumma at the 2021 Euros, you really see goalkeepers get the recognition. That's what they have to make.
That's fair. That's fair. I guess I was saying it more for like who my player of the tournament would probably end up being just based on the impact I think he'll have. I think Debo gets he gets a lot of hate for his antics, but all honesty, bro, I can't think of a single player who wouldn't take that man on his team. I mentioned
remember a few shows ago that Debo's a player that everyone hates to face, but everyone would take in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat, bro. I would gladly take that man on my team.
Same with Vinicius Jr. a little bit.
Yeah, same shit. I don't even hate like a lot of Barcelona fans hate Vinny. I don't hate Vinny. I have no problem with him.
I don't hate Vinny on the pitch. I hate the shit he does outside the pitch. All this talking about racism, then he goes and he talks about, and then he doesn't moves like mad during the game. Like keep it consistent. Be a shithouse or be a humble guy. Don't try and mold.
Fair. Yeah. I agree. But like at the end of the day, like to me, like we've always said on the show, I don't know how long, like game is game. Like I think at the end of the day, like if you can use it in your advantage, by all means, fucking go for it.
You're a Brazil fan, you're loving it, but like from the outside perspective.
Yeah, 100%, bro. But look, guys, that's it. We've been here for an hour. That is our Copa America predictions. This is going live a day in advance of the actual tournament. Guys, hold us accountable in the comments down below. If you haven't done so already, like the video down below, subscribe to the channel, and follow us along. Look, we're going to be streaming every group stage match between US and Mexico. And I think we'll even throw in some other interesting matchups along the way. Guys, check in with us, watch the games with us, have a good time. And look, I think if you're an Argentina fan specifically, we're going to link Barca Boy 103's channel down in the notes below. Guys, he does his streams for the Argentina games. If there's an upset there, all I'm saying is I'm going to flip that channel really, really quick because the reactions are going to be hilarious.
He does reactions on Twitter. We need to tag Goals TV. Tag them, please. We need them.
Yes, absolutely, man. We're going to be all over it. It's going to be great. But look, man, that's our video for today. So again, from everybody here at Goals TV, my name's Jose. That's Max. That's Hafid. We'll catch you guys next time.